Good evening, good morning, whatever, and welcome to the show. What I wanted to talk to you about today is PIP, Personal Independence Payment, and the fact that there's a lot of misinformation about it out there and what it kind of really covers and what it's kind of there to cover and why it's there to help. And it is a lifeline for a lot of people with certain conditions, and it really helps. So, firstly, I want to say that it's not means tested. So, it doesn't matter whether you're working or not working, you can still apply for PIP. So, it doesn't matter whether you're on minimum wage, it doesn't matter whether you're on £150,000 a year, you can still apply for it. And what it's there for is to help with the extra costs that a person with a condition may have from how their condition affects them. So, for example, person X has a condition that makes it impossible for them to walk further than so many meters. Therefore, the fact that they can't walk so many meters means that they might be approved for the motability side of PIP. Now, PIP is about £80 a week. It's not a lot of money. If you get the upper rate, it's like about £110 a week. Again, it's still not a lot of money. But what I want to kind of say is, what kind of things are these, is the money from PIP spent on? So I kind of put together, a quick kind of like, what have I spent stuff on, and, either in the past or just continuously, that will give you an idea of the extra costs incurred. So I want to say just up front, I get my normal medication from the NHS. It's covered by the NHS. I have an exemption for medication. If I didn't, then my medication would cost me in excess of £1,000 a month. Obviously, I can't afford that. So the NHS is there rescuing me, basically. And there's a lot of other people in the same position. So fantastic on the NHS there. But the other things that it doesn't cover are things like the supplements that I take. So these supplements help things like, sort of for joints and things like I get psoriasis. So that is an effect of my having my condition. Therefore, I need certain skin products. I need certain shampoo because, I get psoriasis on my head. So those sorts of things, they're not cheap, and they're something that you just incur ongoing. So there's a lot of little bits that's, soon add up. There's other things around the house like handles, where there might be like a step up, for example, or something like that. There's a seat in the shower, which I use, for comfort and laziness, so things like that. There, again, from the showering, I can't sort of reach properly all over me and all the way, down to my legs and stuff like that. So I've got a long-handled scrubbing brush. Simple, but all this, costs money. Sort of mobility aids, walking sticks. You might have more than one for certain situations, like one in the car, one for around the house, um, those sorts of things, like a foldable one or something like that, or for holidays or whatever. So you might have more than one, for example. Um, then there's things like treatments. So the treatments initially are covered by NHS when you first get diagnosed, if they're available. So it depends on your hospital and your situation. There's a lot of factors involved in that. But things like, once you've done all that, after like 6 sessions, so you probably only do like a month and a half, maybe 2 months worth of treatment, and then suddenly physio, yoga, do a yoga. I've got a list here: hydrotherapy, which is basically a hot pool where you do exercises in the hot pools, and things like psychology, if you have that ongoing, for example. They are not cheap at all. I mean, you do one psychology appointment will be more than your weekly PIP. So you're already down on the money. And there's lots of things that, in terms of what you wear and things like that. So, you can have compression gloves, compression socks, things that keep you a little bit warmer than you would normally have if you didn't have the condition. So, for example, if you have certain conditions make you feel the cold more, you might get sweats more, from having, just as a side effect from having, a strange immune system. You just might sweat for no reason, you know, just for fun, really. So, sort of certain clothes might not, fit the bill, basically. So you've got to go and get certain clothes and all that sort of thing. So what I kind of want to summarize it with is like, PIP is not a luxury. Yeah. It's a necessity. It's something that a lot of us rely on. And if we didn't have it, our lives would be significantly worse off. And that's kind of my pitch, kind of, to keep PIP going, and to make sure that people understand why we might need it. And I'd be interested. I don't know why anybody would not wish somebody to have PIP, if they have a disability that affects them quite significantly. But whatever your views on it, I will happily accept them. I will present facts if there is a reason why I think that shouldn't be the case, of course. But equally, I'll go the other way if there are things where, if there's comments made that I know it's a bit of a sensitive subject, basically, I'll try and keep on top of any comments that are, a bit out of the ordinary, basically, that might be a bit, I don't know, dodgy or something. Who knows? Well, that's my bit for today. So, in summary, again, it's not a luxury, it's a necessity. Have some of that, and I will see you very soon. Okay? Until then, bye. Bye-bye. Bye, bye, bye-bye, bye-bye, bye, bye, bye. Yeah, bye.